Welcome in to I Remember My First Time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't be nasty, Jacob. Not that first time.
God damn it.
This is a podcast about cinematic awakenings,
Oh, well, I like the sound of that. That's promising.
where we talk about movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
Boom, promise kept, love cherry pops.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
God, I fucking hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
Oh, we love shitty movies. Sometimes. Even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
Nope. Hell no.
But do we love movies?
Oh, we love the shit out of movies. And this week's disaster movie masterpiece, a sequel, remake, whatever you want to call it, of the
Who
original,
knows?
yeah,
Who
of
knows?
the original Bill Paxton Helen Hunt disaster masterpiece, Twister. We have the 2024 Twisters.
With an S.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say disaster instead of disaster masterpiece, and I was going to be irritated with you.
Nah. Part of the bit is calling every movie on this pod a masterpiece, no matter how dog shit it is. So,
Jacob, what the hell's a tornado wrangler?
BJ, did you just screw the pooch?
I am BJ Leica, and welcome to the Suck Zone.
Joined as always by me, Jacob Ekus, and my personal motto in life is: you can't chase your fears, you gotta ride them.
The fuck does that mean?
Uh, I heard that and I was just like, awesome. And that was right after Glen Powell goes, she screwed the pooch on that one. And I was like, well, damn it. This scene was going to be called Boys Are Easy until he just said screwed the pooch.
You know what that means, right?
Yeah, it means you fuck dogs. So, which is just a perfectly normal thing that white people say. Just screwed the pooch. Also, I'm not stealing anyone's joke. That is Michael Shea's joke from the stand-up special Matters on Netflix. Check it out.
What did he say? You didn't screw the pooch. You accidentally replied all. You didn't fuck a dog.
Yeah. No, he got him, the guy got him the wrong coffee. He was like, and here's your coffee. He's like, man, this is what I ordered. Oh, sorry, Shay. Screwed the pooch on that one. What'd you say? Screwed the pooch. It means I messed up. No, it doesn't mean, no, it doesn't do. It means you fuck dogs. Probably shouldn't say that in a workplace environment. And, you know, at least this guy just owns a YouTube channel, so saying screwed the pooch at his work isn't that big of a deal, but it does mean he fucks dogs. So, or that she fucked a dog. Anyways, that was the second best part of this. There are exactly 4 good parts of this movie that I think there are, and only 4.
Glen
And that was
Powell's
one.
face, Glen Powell's smile, Glen Powell's body, and Glen Powell's accent.
Ah, which, speaking of which, I didn't find Glen Powell crazy attractive in this movie for whatever reason. I understand how people do. I get it. But this is our first movie for our newest bit on the pod, Hot Guy January.
Hot Guy January. You know what that means.
That means
4
we're gonna,
movies with hot guys.
yeah, yeah. So if you have recommendations, let us know, because we're recording this on January 6th. So we have absolutely zero plans on what's going on. So when this movie comes out, you can tell us what movie you want to do. We'll do it.
And also for this podcast, I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm wildly unprepared. I watched this movie like 2 weeks ago. I don't really remember shit. All the descriptions of this movie are way too long. It's fucking Twisters 2. They chase fucking tornadoes. Chill out.
Yeah. Yeah, just go watch it if you want to. It's 2 hours long. It probably should have just been an hour and a half. I probably would have enjoyed it more if it was just an easy 90 minutes.
Oh, there's no doubt this movie's 20 minutes too long. No doubt.
30. 30. Straight 30. It needed to be a lean 126 minutes. That's 90 minutes of movie, 6 minutes of credits. So probably would have enjoyed it immensely more had that happened. But yeah, you are grossly unprepared. Normally you have our quote set up for us and we just rolled off the bat, and I thought that we did pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. This movie does have a 75% Rotten Tomatoes rating, a
Too high.
6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, too low. And
I think that's
somehow,
all right.
somehow a 65% Metacritic score? What the
Get
hell?
get fucked. No, it doesn't.
What the hell?
No, it doesn't.
I've never been more shocked. After watching this movie, which spoiler, I enjoyed. I saw that I was like, oh, this is a straight up 44 Metacritic score. This movie is nothing. It is no substance whatsoever in this movie. The critics are gonna hate it. And I was like, 65%? What?
Yeah, that's way too high. That's crazy. Oh my, that's crazy. We've had movies that are so much better than this movie that have horrible critic reviews. Metacritic scores, I mean. Anyways, you're grossly unprepared. Does that mean we don't have a critic review either?
No, I glanced at them and d- man, when Roger Ebert doesn't do them, they're just not great. Just no one's Raj.
Well, I just want you to know that I have an incredible or two incredible reviews
Oh, good, good.
from IMDb. They did not disappoint.
Movies like, especially movies like this, that it's like, hey, critics, we didn't make this for you. We've got Glen Powell as a YouTube tornado wrangler who shoots fireworks into tornadoes. We're not worried about what you think, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some good budget shit here. It initially had $155 million budget, but oh no, sorry, originally budgeted at 120 million. The budget ballooned to 200 million after the production faced several setbacks, including COVID-19 delays and the 2023 writers' strike. Many films released between or during COVID experienced similar delays. Opening weekend, $81,000, and gross worldwide about 371 million dollars.
What, 81,000 or 81 million opening weekend?
1 million.
Oh, okay. Uh, I, so had it not been for writers strike, COVID delays, all that, this movie would have made money.
I mean, it still made money. Like,
Yeah.
it's in the US alone, it made 260 about $268 million, and worldwide it made $371 million. Like, it had quite a bit of profit, but not what they were expecting.
Which, is kind of weird because Twister's not, I don't feel like anybody was screaming for a Twister sequel.
No, nobody was screaming for a Twister sequel.
And they did it anyway. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I mean, there's enjoyable stuff in this movie. All right, BJ, thoughts on the movie?
You know what? I'm just here for the vibes, bro. That's exactly what this movie is. It is not trying to be anything spectacular. It's not trying to do anything different. It doesn't, I guess it kind of has a people over profits thing, but whatever. That's a pretty lazy story. But some great redneck vibes in this movie. And I was digging it the whole way.
See, I guess I'm just not a vibe movie person. I don't know, because this movie was kind of boring for me. Like, there's things I enjoyed about it, but by no means should it have been close to 2 hours, like 90 minutes. I was pretty bored for most of the movie, and I didn't really catch any vibes. Like, what vibes was I missing?
The heavy country red dirt soundtrack, the wide landscapes, the beautiful blue open skies of Oklahoma, the rodeo scene, just Glen Powell in flannel, white tank tops. It's just all about vibes.
Okay, I caught no vibes. I enjoyed the cinematography. I thought the soundtrack was dog shit.
Yeah, because you hate country music. Of course you did.
Yeah, but I've seen movies with good country music soundtracks. We did
Yeah.
watch Hell or High Water.
Yeah. Well, that's more westerny. This is like straight up like just modern Luke Combs songs in there and shit.
Dog shit. Dog shit. But I enjoyed the cinematography. I like, but whatever. I'm not a vibe movie guy. We've talked about that though. Anything you did like about this movie, Mister Vibes?
Yes, it's 20 minutes too long. They didn't kiss at the end. What the fuck was that? Kiss at the end. What are you doing, movie? Their tongues should have been swirled around each other's tongues, and they weren't. And that was bullshit. And the biggest problem with the movie though is that I didn't buy the female lead, whose name I don't remember because I watched this movie 2 weeks ago and it's not good enough to remember, was not believable as a storm chaser. She did not have that Helen Hunt thing about her where I believed Helen Hunt was in on it and totally believed she was a storm chaser. This lead, I couldn't get over the fact that I'm like, you are not a storm chaser.
Two things. One, fuck, what was the thing you said just before the lead thing?
That they didn't kiss.
Oh, yeah. See, I was okay with that because the tornado sirens. I was like, all right.
Oh no, I see what
It
they did. I just
like
wanted them to
no,
kiss.
no. I under not only did you want them to kiss, you're just like there should have been no reason that they're not. And I'm just saying that that was probably the only time of the movie where I caught the vibes. I was like, yeah.
Did you like Paul Scheer as the airport police officer cameo?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay,
We'll
all
get
right.
there. We don't want to spoil nothing. I was watching this movie 25 minutes ago. You watched this movie 2 weeks, and I don't know her name. Like, she fucking sucked, man. She
I
like,
I think it was her hair. I think it was the hair that made me not believe her as a
well,
storm chaser.
it
It just
was
needed to
the
be longer and in a ponytail. Is really all they needed to do.
I'm just, but she just what she wasn't good. Like her character wasn't good. She wasn't good. Like if this is the only movie I ever watched from this girl, I'm just like, you're not good at acting. I just didn't believe any of it. So, and that for me, and of course, I mean, this is one movie, and it's not supposed to be a great movie. So what does that say? But I think that was the problem for me anyway.
Okay, so it wasn't even that like you were just you just didn't like the character. It's not even that she wasn't believable. You were just like, this character kind of sucks. There wasn't enough. How am I trying to say this? There wasn't enough like tossling back and forth of, does she stay with her friend? Is her friend lying to her? It was like that was all too clean.
Yeah. But then you find out that the friend's not really lying to her. Like, I hate when movies like tiptoe this line and make everybody like, oh no, you're still the good guy and you weren't doing anything bad and we're all in this. The fuck off. Like,
You knew what you were doing.
yeah. Another thing I didn't like about this movie, and out of all the unrealistic things that's happening in this movie, the thing that annoyed me the absolute most was that this is going on in Oklahoma, and they have to tell people in Oklahoma to leave their valuables to go hide from the tornado. You don't have to tell people in Oklahoma to get the fuck out of the way when a tornado's coming.
I thought
They're not trying to save their merchandise. They're not trying to save their little tent covers. They're getting the fucking shelter.
I thought you were gonna say no one in Oklahoma has anything valuable.
That
I had a meth tub joke all worked up, and then you didn't say it. And I was like, God damn it!
That would have been great. That would have been the bit to do. That would have been the bit to do. So, BJ, was it a good or a bad movie?
Oh, was there anything you liked about it?
I mean, it's my Mount Rushmore scene. So,
Okay. All right. There,
I,
there's
I, I liked I liked a total of 4 things in this movie.
they got the suck zone out of the way early. I was very appreciative that the suck zone came back up.
Yep.
And also they added to the allegory of sex on the first one. Did you notice all the finger handshakes that went on? Like all the finger movements that went on? They had the
You know
little
what?
finger and handshake, and Glen Powell had his little finger tornado. They really tried to expand upon the suck zone to the finger zone in this movie, and I really appreciated that.
Fair enough. I didn't even think of that. This makes so much sense to me. The little twirl, because booty hole. That makes so much sense to me. That's great. There is one other thing that I don't like about this movie, and the only time I've ever enjoyed this in a movie or real life is Lindsay Lohan's The Parent Trap, when she has to teach, the other Lindsay Lohan the handshake between her and the butler. I hate secret handshakes. I hate people who learn them. I hate people who do them. If you do them, I hate you and you're not welcome on the podcast.
What if what if all of our guests have all had these secret handshakes? That's
And
the
then
only way. I only let people on the pod that give me the secret handshake.
fuck my life. That's what I gotta say. Fuck my life. But yeah, I appreciated the double downs on the sexual innuendos in this movie. I just wish that she was more charismatic, the lead, her friend that looked weird. And oh fuck, what was I about to say? Fuck. Whatever. I forget.
So, was it a good or bad movie?
I'm gonna go with bad.
It is. It's these movies are hard because they clearly are in on the joke making this movie. They're not trying to make a good movie.
Yeah, for me it's a bad question mark because like Twister was bad too,
Yeah.
but it was so great. In this movie, it's just
It
if
it
if it had been 30 minutes shorter, I might feel the same way I feel about Twister, though I hold Twister in a higher regard. But this
well,
movie,
Twister was so ahead of its time with how it was shot and everything, and it's
no, I know that, but I'm like whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We watched Twister a couple years ago, and it holds up just fine. I'm not even talking about
Oh,
that
for
aspect
sure,
of
for
it.
sure.
It's just I think if this movie would have been 30 minutes shorter, I probably would have felt about it in a similar way. Just Twister's better, you know. But I'm questioning whether I think it's actually a bad movie or if just there was a bad an extra 30 minutes.
It's it's an extremely generic movie. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you always know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and kind of what you were saying with the first one. Is there anything you liked more about this movie, and what did you like more about the original?
This movie had cooler trucks. The Dodge Glen
Yeah.
Glen Powell's
Yeah.
Dodge Ram's fucking awesome.
Hang on. John Woo, this was way fucking cooler than what you did to that stupid Mustang in Silent Night. This is what you should have done with that fucking Mustang. This truck was so goddamn cool.
Yeah, this truck was crazy cool. What else did I like? 10 tornadoes. There's a total of 10 tornadoes in this movie.
It takes place over like 48 hours, all within driving distance of them that they make it to.
Yeah, so, that I forgot to mention that was a thing I liked about this movie. Just the amount of budget that they had, they were able to throw in 10 tornadoes, and I enjoyed every one. Like I enjoyed every tornado scene. And then what I liked about the original movie better characters, better acting, Bill Paxton. Of course, that just goes with characters because Bill Paxton. And it was just more fun. You get cows flying around. Call them
Yeah.
twins. Call them the twins instead of the sisters, because then that's about boobs too. So appreciated that from the old one. They did do the white T-shirt in both movies, because in Twister, Helen Hunt's in the white T-shirt, and then in this one, Glen Powell's in the white T-shirt.
Well, they have the lead actress in a white tank top several times in this one too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the what
we know who the sexual star of this movie is, and it's Glen Powell.
It's Hot Guy January. I have great Glen Powell trivia. This movie's trivia is incredible. I love this movie's trivia. It was fun to read. All right, let's move on with this Mount Rushmore of scenes.
You go ahead and go first, because I'm a little rusty because I hadn't seen this movie in 2 weeks. So let me get my bearings straight, and you go with your fourth one.
Okay, my number 4 scene in this movie is Paul Scheer as the security guard at the airport.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Everything happens. They say bye, and he's looking at her in the window, and then he walks back in the scene. He's like, "Dude, what's the deal?" Best part of the movie. Like, not really, because there's so much cool tornadoes, but when it just comes to funny and acting, and best part of the movie is just fucking great.
And the like pseudo breaking of the fourth wall, as somebody who does a podcast specifically about shitty movies, making a cameo in this for no reason whatsoever. There was no need to have Paul Scheer in that role. None whatsoever. That was great. I love that part. So I'm actually going to go, because there's 3 scenes that I actually really liked, but I just want to talk about how much I hated the scene in the main character's mother garage. It was so fucking boring, and I did not give a single shit about anything they were saying about how to stop a tornado. Get the fuck out of here.
That's because we're from North Texas, and tornadoes never, ever, ever hit North Texas.
Oh, that's not true.
I mean, I'm 32 years old, and I've never, like, the siren's gone off, and it's hitting, like, far north Denton.
Oh, dude, there was one that tore through East Dallas like 3 years ago. Like, bad damage.
Yeah, but, like, it never happens, really.
Tornadoes don't take up a huge spot, but I feel like every 2 years there's a pretty devastating tornado somewhere in the Metroplex.
I don't think so. We'll have to look it up. But I know that in Oklahoma, people be losing homes like 4 or 5 times in a lifetime to a tornado.
Yeah, I was like 2 days after I was in Oklahoma City, there was a tornado warning, and I didn't know where any of the fucking counties were. So I'm like, I don't know where the fuck this thing is.
You're like, God damn it.
And I'm in a house that was built in like 1908, and I'm like, this fucker's going down.
You're like, out of nowhere, am I gonna be in the suck zone? I don't want to be in the suck zone.
Anyway, I hated that scene, but the other 3 scenes I actually kind of liked. But I just wanted to get that out there because I didn't mention it in things but that scene was so long too.
Yeah, that scene was boring. Like that's a 10-minute scene almost.
It felt like it was 25.
Now you need to shave off 20 more minutes. Like, you've already taken out 10. I didn't need any of that. It didn't make these characters grow closer. Fuck off. My number 3 scene is the tornado wrangler scene. The second tornado we've seen. Glen Powell shows up. I believe, and when this scene happened, I was like, oh my God, I know this scene. Because when you watched this movie 2 weeks ago, you said you watched it with your family, and your mother-in-law, who, immigrant, practices Islam, very traditional. You said Glen Powell gets out of the truck, and she goes, "Who is that?"
Exactly like that. And she's not a talker during movies either. And when he opens that door and stands up out of the truck, she goes, "Who is that?"
And correct me if I'm wrong, it's at that moment when you were holding down sheer hysterical laughter.
It was all I could do to stop from
Yeah.
laughing. It was so funny to me because,
And
like I said, she's not a talker during movies, and for her to just see Glen Powell and go, "Who is that?"
And it was at that moment in BJ's life that he was like Hawkeye January.
Perfect. Thank you. We have a bit. Because that's always been something we've always wanted to do. We've wanted to do months, right? Like whatever it may be, if it's Alan Rickman month or something like that. We've always wanted to have like theme months, and it's like we got one. We got Hot Guy January,
and it's perfect. And that's the scene that bred this bit. But anyways, you find out that he's a tornado wrangler, which,
what is that?
Fucking
You're
stupid.
Not wrangling a tornado. It's Mother Nature. She gonna do what she want to do.
It's fucking stupid. But awesome. And then they're selling merchandise, and they've got an RV camper van and another bullshit van, and dirty chicks got braids. I love dirty white girls that have braids, or white guys that not braids that have dreads. Like, you don't, like, what are you doing? You don't need.
You are a drone pilot. You don't need dreads. You're not a Rastafari.
And you're also white. Why do that to your hair? Why sign up for more shit? Anyways, whatever. And
we're not allowed to talk about hair.
Yeah, no, we're both bald. And then you get him driving to this tornado, and they go to the same lake because she tries to misdirect him, and then motherfucker shoots fireworks in a tornado. Awesome. We love living in 2024 because right after Diddy's like, y'all wanted to know if we can shoot fireworks up a tornado, and now you know.
My third favorite scene is actually the final scene. Again, I thought it was a little too long. Not the final, but the final tornado in the movie
That's your
theater.
Third?
Yeah.
I swear to God, if you have the rodeo scene above the final tornado,
the rodeo scene's definitely above it. The rodeo scene's
oh my God, you're the fucking worst, dude. You're the fucking worst.
I fucking love the rodeo scene.
You're the fucking worst. I can't. Anyways, keep going. What did you like about the final tornado scene?
There was just a ton of action and shit blowing everywhere and everyone being the hero. And she takes the truck and disseminates the tornado, which is so dumb.
It's the best scene in the movie.
No. It's too long. It's a little too long. I was honestly, after that stupid barn scene, I cared very little about the movie after that. Because that scene was so long and so boring, it took me kind of out of everything.
Well, the stupid barn scene, what helped me get through that definitely was doing trivia and looking up reviews.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was able to power right through that one. In fact, I think it was after that scene that I looked at Nima and I was like, "Are you sleeping?" And she said no, but it looked like it because that scene was so fucking boring. Fuck you. So my number 2 favorite scene is my opening quote, "Screwed the pooch."
Which scene was this? I don't.
It probably should be my third favorite scene, and my number 3 favorite scene should be my 2 favorite scene.
See, I was shocked that your number 3 scene was that low. That I was like, I thought that was the best scene in the movie. But anyway,
we're gonna switch it. We're gonna make that my number 2 scene. So to retract my number 3 scene, actually, we're gonna make this my number 4 scene because Paul Scheer should be number 3 if this is my number 4. It's when Homegirl sees the corn go the other way, and so they make the other turn, and Glen Powell's like, "No, we're gonna make a right here." He's like, "Yeah, your intriguing girl screwed the pooch," and then they go to chase.
Is that when she panics?
No, she panics whenever she panics on the tornado wrangler scene.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the next one where she doesn't panic and they actually get a good little shot there.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's my number 4 actually, and then Paul Scheer, and then what was my number 3? What did I say it was?
Your number 2 was the tornado wrangler scene.
Yeah. Tornado Wrangler. Yep. What's your number 2?
Oh, yeah, it's the rodeo.
What's your number 1 then? Is your number 1 my number 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I truly think that's far and away the best scene in the movie. That's as much fun as I had watching this movie was that scene. That was a we'll get to it. But the rodeo scene is just they teased the little romantic comedy of it that I liked at the time, but they didn't pay it off. But I did think it was a really cute first date. I want Glen Powell to take me out on a date, preferably to a rodeo where he's wearing some pearl snaps and a cowboy hat, and I want to redneck it up.
And BJ wants Glen Powell to call him City Girl. Hey, City Girl.
She clearly was not a city girl. I was like, what? That she's clearly not a city girl. In no way, shape, or form in this movie is she a city girl. Why does he keep saying that?
Because she ain't got no accent. And she works in New York.
New York City.
New York City.
Anyway, yeah, I had a fun time with the potential romanticness of this scene. So sue me.
Now, this scene sucked. The best part about this scene was a tornado that fucked up their date.
The guy that they told not to get in his truck that went into his truck.
I love the guy that got into his truck that they told not to go to his truck. One of my favorite people.
Look, everyone in Tornado Alley knows the worst thing to do is be in a vehicle. Everyone knows that.
Yes. And like I said, like I don't remember ever dealing with tornado. Like I remember tornado sirens going off, in Plano, McKinney, like that area. But like people in Oklahoma, they fucking know all the rules.
Yeah. If you're on the road, go into the ditch. The ditch is the safest place to be. We might have saved a life on this podcast.
Yeah. And don't get in your car. The reason they went into the pool is because the ditch is the safest place to be. What else did I like about this scene? Oh, I love Glen Powell telling the dude not to stand up because, the wind. And he's like, I can do it. And he stands up. Awesome.
I love when people don't listen in disaster movies. It's my favorite thing about disaster movies.
Me too.
When people don't listen and karma gets them.
Yep. Like didn't need to save you no ways. That was the best part of the rodeo scene, is a tornado that fucked up their date. So fuck you. My number 1 scene is the final tornado scene. I did not think it was too long. I thought everything else about this movie was too long, outside of every time they showed tornadoes. And I love the oil refinery blowing up. The
oil refinery blowing up was so cool.
Incredible filmmaking. That was awesome. I love the truck getting thrown back on its wheels. Great shit in that scene. Great shit. I love him spinning out his tires on the dude and putting shit all over him. That was great. And then I knew the face turn was going to happen because this movie's real generic, and that really didn't do much for me because I knew it. Like that scene already played in my head before it happened. Yeah, I just like that he splashed mud on him, like just the comedic element, like it happening, whatever. And the theater was great. Her driving in the tornado, like you mentioned earlier, like. If the oil refinery tornado blow up scene wasn't in this final scene, you putting the rodeo above it would make sense to me. But this scene has the oil refinery blow up tornado scene. And I don't know how to make that shorter, but it is the oil refinery blow up tornado scene. And it's fucking awesome. But yeah, anyways, what do you have to say about the tornado wrangler?
Yeah, it was just the first time you meet Glen Powell, and like they're kind of presenting him as the bad guy, and you're like, he's too fucking cool to be the bad guy. Get the fuck out of here. He's so fucking cool. He's so awesome. And the truck. When you first see what the truck can do, and after they shoot fireworks in it, and his little film buddy does the backflip, I was like, that was completely unnecessary. I fucking love it. Keep it.
Yeah. I love this little film buddy too, because that's when you meet him. And they're like, so what about this guy? He's like, oh man, I just catch the vibes, man. Like tornadoes are like kind of scientific, but also religious. And I'm like, this dude's cool. I want to smoke weed with that guy.
And then you had the reporter as the Bill Paxton's fiance from the first movie,
Yeah.
basically the same exact role. I was like, why
Yeah.
is this here? I love it. I don't care. I can't tell you the amount of fun I had during this scene. Like after this scene finished, I was like, this movie's gonna be fucking amazing. And
Yeah.
then it was just kind of, yeah, it was fine the rest of the way.
Yeah, but you're right. Like this movie is, or this scene is incredible, was incredible, and this scene made you think that the rest of the movie was going to be as good as that was. And they tried. They put 8 more tornadoes after that scene. That was the second tornado, and then they were like, "Here's 8 more bitches," and they still managed to screw it up.
Oh, just for the record, if you do watch this movie, probably the best way is to just watch the tornado scenes and not watch anything in between. You'll
Yeah.
probably have a real good time with this movie.
So this is what you do if you want to watch this movie. You turn it on, watch the very first scene, and fast forward.
The first scene's really good too.
Yeah,
I
the
really
first
enjoyed
scene's
that one.
the first scene's great. You watch the first scene and you fast forward to when Glen Powell shows up. Then you watch that scene and then you fast forward to right when you think the tornado is going to happen, and then rewind it like 10 minutes, start it from there.
Yeah.
And then do that every time. Once you see the tornado, rewind 10 minutes, start it from there.
Once you see the tornado on the screen, rewind it 10 minutes. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I thought you were talking about like before the tornadoes. I was like, the 10 minutes is the boring one, but I got you now. When they start chasing basically when they get in their cars.
Yeah.
When they get in their trucks, watch it.
Yeah. Sometimes you need a little bit more before that, because the Wrangler scene is the tornado Wrangler is a perfect example of that. You need
but they're in their trucks.
But they're not chasing the tornado. They're at
that's what I'm saying. Like it should
store.
just be when you see them in their vehicles, watch the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree. All right, character breakdown. Let's do this.
The guy who started Hot Guy Summer or Hot Guy January, Glen Powell himself.
Yeah, he's a Texas native, UT Dallas or University of Texas alumni. Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns, baby. Hook 'em horns.
That's right. All right. You'll love this, BJ. In the rodeo scene when he's telling her the first time he experienced a tornado. True story about Glen Powell's life.
I can see that. He was so convincing as a YouTube tornado wrangler. I don't know how. I don't know how he was so convincing as that. But I was like, yeah, I bet he does.
Yeah, I believe this 100%.
Oddly, and I think the biggest problem with his character is he was so much of a better actor and so much more charming than the female lead that I think it hurt their chemistry, because he's so fucking cool.
I totally agree. And it it sucked for him because it brought him down a little.
Yeah, you could tell like he was trying to get to that level, and I feel like he was really held back by their lack of chemistry, if you will.
Yep. Okay, her. What is her name in this movie? Do we even know her name in real life?
It definitely says her name, but
I'm gonna find out.
Leslie.
Is it called The Twisters? No way. There's also No, I know. There's also another movie that came out in 2024 starring Tiffany, Mark Justice, whoever those two people are, called The Twisters. But currently we're talking
Tiffany.
That's what her Hollywood name is Tiffany. In The Twisters, not Twisters. But currently we're talking about Kate, played by Daisy Edgar Jones.
What? No.
Currently we're talking about Kate, played by Daisy Edgar Jones.
Oh, never mind. That's not the I was thinking Daisy, is it Ridley from the Star Wars ones? I was like, that's definitely not her. Okay. All right. My bad.
You're good. You were like, no, and I'm just like, man, that's what IMDb says. Glen Powell's right by her. I don't know what you want me to say.
It, Kate, yeah, Kate. Her name's Kate. Well, I don't give a shit about anybody named Kate.
No, Kate's as bad as Karen.
Um,
Poor name choice, but no, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen her in anything else. It's not really fair. I didn't think she did good in this, but what do I know?
yeah, and it,
We're also not
I've
critics,
also
so
I also feel like they needed someone about 5 years older than her. She,
BJ, didn't you watch the movie where the crawdads sing and tell me to stay the fuck away?
I did.
She's in that movie. She's the
Oh,
star in
okay.
that movie.
Sure, I hated that movie too. Um, I, I, I don't even know if it's like her fault. As I think it was bad casting more than anything.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I
Because
like.
she, like I said, she seemed about 5 years too young for Glen Powell, at least. She just she lacked that charm. She lacked that chemistry. I never believed her as like the leader of the group or a storm chaser. She didn't. They needed to cast somebody more badass, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, who's next? Her friend? We're gonna. Is there anybody really else talk? Like her friend was cool, I guess. He wasn't horrible. Who is your favorite crew member of Glen Powell's?
It, it's one of two, and we mentioned them both already, so it's not that interesting. It's either the his right hand man, the videographer guy, or the drone with the dreadlocks. Those were the two best, and
Yeah,
neither of them were Philip Seymour Hoffman from the first one.
I agree with everything you just said. That would have been exactly what I would have said. All right, that was character breakdown. God, that was easy. BJ, are you ready for the best part of this podcast? Because this trivia is pretty lights out.
This is the tornado portion of the podcast.
Yes. In honoring the original Twister, it was shot entirely on Kodak 35mm film on location in Oklahoma. Director Lee Isaac Chung said that a large part of the decision came from wanting to capture the natural, vibrant colors of the state.
Yeah, yeah, and you mentioned the cinematography. I mentioned the vibe. This is all part of it. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Here's this is another homage to the original Twister. Glen Powell's character drives a red pickup truck, and homage to the original Twister, in which Bill Paxton's character also drives a red pickup truck.
Yeah, yeah, and I knew the one guys were the bad guys because they had all the brand new matching vehicles. I was like,
Yep,
oh, they're gonna be the bad guys. I know how
yep,
this works.
yep.
I'm smart.
The Storm Part vehicles are named Lion, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Wizard, as reference to the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy's house is transported to, or the original Twister film also had a reference to the Wizard of Oz because they were all named Dorothy 1, 2, 3, and 4 in case anybody forgot.
Yep, yep.
Your what second favorite scene, the tornado scene? The little girl is in the iconic Dorothy's outfit, blue dress and red sparkly shoes.
Oh, cool. I didn't notice that one.
Yeah. Bill Paxton had tried for years to get a sequel to Twister off the ground. After seeing success as the director of films like Fertility, Paxton wanted to direct a modernized telling of the 1925 tri-state tornado that took the lives of 695 people. Paxton, with the help of producer James Cameron, also wanted the film to have a rated R rating and maintain a realistic depiction of the damages that real tornadoes cause, and planned for it to be shot in 3D. The film at one point had an unofficial scheduled date for the summer of 2012 under the title Twister 3D, but it was ultimately canceled due to budgetary concerns and years later by Paxton's death in 2017.
I'm not a big fan of 3D movies, but a Twister movie in 3D sounds awesome.
Yeah, and that would have been right after James Cameron got done doing Avatar. And
Mhm.
he just would have sunk all that. He's like, yeah, dude, use all that money to do the same thing I did, but with Twister. And I don't watch the shit out of that movie. More Twister reference, Daryl Cox, who plays the trailer salesperson who suggests using an aluminum trailer, is an Oklahoman actor who also appeared in the 96 film as the Four Corners mechanic at the gas station hit by the nighttime tornado.
I loved the scene where they were trying to describe everything he can do. He's like, "So you need a strong trailer? Go with aluminum." What what are we doing here?
Yeah, should have just told me what you were looking for.
Yeah, strong and light, aluminum. Here you go. Fuck off. What are we doing? I thought y'all were PhDs, you smart fucks.
And then here's incredible Glen Powell trivia. This is how I'm ending it. Glen Powell's parents appear in this movie, sitting behind him and Daisy Edgar Jones during the rodeo scene. According to Glen Powell, his parents have appeared in all of his movies since Spy Kids 3D in 2003. Boom! Robert Rodriguez reference.
What? That's so like he's like a genuinely like good person. He's not just like hot douche guy.
Yeah, seems that way.
Ah, man. That's so cool.
Are you ready for what his dog's name is? Because you're about to find out
In real life?
in real life.
Okay. Give me do you have the breed?
No.
Oh man. Male or female?
I know that his dog is in the movie. It's one of the dogs in the movie.
Big dog, little dog.
I have no idea.
Oh,
So
okay. Boy name, girl name.
seems like a boy name.
All right. So he's a Texas guy. He's got to be about our age, right?
Yeah, 88. He was born in 88.
Okay. So he's my age, from Austin. Is his dog's name Ricky Williams?
No.
Oh, damn it. Vince Young?
Glen Powell's dog, Hot Brisket.
Fuck yeah! Hot brisket, not just brisket. This is the greatest guy in the world. Hot brisket? Holy shit.
Glen Powell's dog, Hot Brisket, appears in the movie as both official cast member and official set mascot.
Oh.
How incredible.
Are you aware of Glen Powell's next acting role?
No.
Do you remember the bit where Eli Manning put on a whole bunch of prosthetics and went to like a Division III college football team as like the transfer student recruit and started dropping dimes on everybody? And they were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh, okay. No, I don't remember this.
They're making a show of that.
Awesome. Cool. Is it going to be a movie or a show?
I think it's a show.
Okay. All right. Two more bit trivia. Bill Paxton starred in the original Twister, and Glen Powell stars in this movie. The two also did a movie together, a low-budget independent movie called Red Wing.
Is it about is it about what I think it's about?
Because it should be. And if it is, we're doing it on this movie or on this podcast.
I doubt it's about that. It's probably about the boots.
It's not about that. A young couple.
Okay, I just sent you a link. You should go look at Hot Brisket.
Okay. A young couple takes in a mysterious foster child to raise on their farm. As the boy grows up to be a handsome young man, the husband starts to suspect his wife has feelings for him.
Oh, no thanks.
Awesome. We might do that on this podcast, everyone, just to make BJ uncomfortable as
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It might be a birthday episode for me.
Ugh.
Awesome. Hot Brisket is amazing. I love Hot Brisket. It's kind of got like very similar to me walking around with my dog Max.
Yes. That's just that what I sent you is a better looking version of you and Max.
Yeah. Yeah. And not because Max isn't as good looking as Hot Brisket, it's because I'm nowhere near as good looking as Glen Powell.
Yeah, and I feel like that dog was like photo prepped.
Duh. All right, last bit of trivia, last bit of Glen Powell trivia. Glen Powell kept the grill of the Dodge Ram his character drives in the movie and had it made into a dining table.
God damn it. God damn it. This guy has so much money and he's got a Dodge Ram grill dining table.
He also tried to keep the belt buckle his character wears, but had to return it after being called by production. The cast the cast joked that both pieces were, quote, roughly the same size.
Here again, Glen Powell with the Dodge Ram grill dining table is that bullshit that good looking people can get away with that me and you just can't.
Yeah. Money helps too. Because
Yes.
we have the kind of personality that if you came over to our house and we had that kind of money, it'd be like, yeah, this guy's pretty fucking cool. Because we're fucking fun to be around.
Yeah. Yeah. And Glen Powell sounds like a blast to be around.
Oh, dude. Glen Powell sounds incredible. I read this trivia and I was like, oh my God. The trivia makes him hot guy January. Hot brisket?
Hot brisket.
You have any ideas for an impersonation?
Yeah, I was just gonna do Glen Powell.
Go
Tyler
for it.
Owens, which
Go.
there's definitely been a WWE wrestler named Tyler Owens, right?
I mean, there has to have been. And if not WWE, some other random wrestling.
Yeah, yeah. Howdy there. I'm Chief Tornado Wrangler, Tyler Owens. Why don't you come over to my house and we can check out the suck zone on my Dodge Ram grill table. Oh, don't worry about the dog in the corner. That's just hot brisket, ma'am.
Sometimes I hate that you go first. Like you had to take every one of them. You had to take the Dodge Ram grill table and hot brisket. You couldn't leave me one.
I took the suck zone too.
I don't care about the suck zone. I can make sexual references. You took the two best trivias. Fucking asshole. All right. And also, your Glen Powell was way hard Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
So not only did you not even impersonate Glen Powell, you still took the two best. Whatever. Here I go. I'm going to try. You like my ass in these Wranglers? You'll love my ass being a tornado wrangler. And I'm going to wrangle you too. We're going to go back to my house later and I'm going to show you hot brisket. And yes, I nicknamed my penis Hot Brisket. But my dog is also named Hot Brisket. And then we'll eat some hot brisket because I got the darndest sauce to slather all over that hot brisket and you, baby.
And that's what it's like to drive a Ford F-150.
No, sir. That's what it's like to drive a Dodge Ram, and I'm going to ram right into you, girly.
City girl.
City girl. God, that's how I should have ended it, city girl. Good one. Those are pretty good. Was that one less McConaughey?
Yes, yeah. Because you're right. He's quicker than McConaughey. McConaughey, everything takes just so long to get across. Where he's much quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Final thoughts on the movie in general.
Obviously it's this weird sequel reboot paying homage thing to we can call Twister a classic, right? A borderline classic, cult classic.
Twister's a classic. I mean, it stands up today, even with its cinematography and effects and everything.
And it's not near as good, but it's a great vibe movie. Really cool tornado stuff, obviously. I say 20 minutes too long. You say 30 minutes too long. Both probably fair. But, I enjoyed myself. I was digging the vibes. I'll give this movie a 7.1.
All right. I pretty much agree with everything you said. I do think it's 30 minutes too long. Watch it, fast forward everything that's not tornadoes. That's just all there is to it. So with that being said, considering you have to fast forward through that much of it, I'm going to give it a straight up 6.
I would say this is very similar to the Roadhouse reboot in terms of what it's doing with the original, and it gives you enough of what you want, but you're still kind of like, eh.
See, we disagree because I love the new Roadhouse. The new Roadhouse was fucking awesome. Can't wait to rewatch it. But, you feel that way about this movie. I believe I gave the new Roadhouse like 9 out of 10.
Maybe I'm thinking my thought, and I do think the new Roadhouse is better than this, but just in that vein of just not being as good as the original, but still having enough good, entertaining stuff in it.
Yeah. Should they remake it? Yeah, keep making tornado movies. I like tornado movies more than movies like Moonfall and The Day After Tomorrow. Like, I don't need an apocalyptic disaster movie. Just do a good tornado, earthquake, tsunami, whatever.
Well, it's the tornadoes are good because in the case of this movie, you can have 10 of them. So you can kind of naturally build and kind of not know how bad the next tornado coming up is.
Yeah. And like the original tornado movie, and this makes tornado movies fun to do. You get these cars that have these things that go into the ground to stabilize said vehicle, because that was in the 96 film too. Like when you do other disaster movies like tsunamis and earthquakes or whatever, like you're just there's no possible way you're not going to get fucked. Whereas tornadoes, you can make it fun and exciting and thrilling, and oh my gosh, these people might die. Like even that last scene, the truck came out of the ground, but it held its own long enough that it didn't get really swept away.
Yeah, and I think that's just the the nature of tornadoes being essentially just super high cyclonic winds versus a tsunami, which it's like there's no technology that's going to save you. I'm sorry.
Yep. And hurricanes, where it's just like if you're below sea level and it's that bad, there's just going to be flooding and people are going to die. And if you live in the U.S., hope it's not a big black population.
You mean they care more about the levees in the white neighborhoods?
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So that's what makes tornado movies fun, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, I do think, like, of the disaster movie genres, I think they're the most fun just because you can do so many different things with them.
All right, BJ, you ready for these good and bad IMDb reviews?
Oh, did we ask people, or do we ask people now if we recommend it or later? I don't even remember.
On the thing it says later, but we can do it now.
Okay.
Should people watch this movie?
If you have nothing else to do and you want to be entertained, yeah, go ahead.
And again, only watch the tornado scenes. Just skip everything else. You're not going to miss anything. Nothing. I promise. Nothing.
This is not a documentary of how to stop tornadoes.
Nah. All right. Good and bad IMDb reviews. From Jerry Flanagan, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Jerry.
Titled, if you're looking for... Wait. Maybe I don't have the title to this one, but that's going to be okay. If you're looking for realistic weather, why are you watching a Hollywood movie with actors? I loved the first one, obsessed with it the moment it hit VHS, but was nice to have a lead actress that didn't look constipated the whole time. Daisy gave so much range and emotion the whole movie. Daisy is amazing. And Glenn, oh my darling dearest, amazing as well.
He's enjoying Hot Guy January.
Yeah. Whoever keeps letting this man wear cowboy and baseball caps is really testing how heavy we can all breathe, okay?
Who is that?
Exactly. The emotions he showed too. Wow. After the pool, y'all together had me fighting the tears. Also, women can be smart. Hilarious seeing the reviews literally saying things about sick of seeing young women who are smarter than they should be. What? She was probably 23, 24, working on her PhD in the beginning, and then 5 years later would put her closer to 30. Sorry to break it to you, but some people are just hella smart. This version had a lot more to it than what I was expecting. I knew I was going to love it no matter what, but this, I want to turn around and go back into the theater for another round. I go to the movies as an escape, so I probably don't look for the flaws and reasons to hate things. I go to be entertained and be in another world. This movie did that flawlessly.
This guy's welcome on the pod. That's a phenomenal review. Were people complaining that the PhD meteorologist was too smart?
Not in the reviews that I read, and I looked for them, but people did complain that Gen Z actresses can't act and they're over it. And I'm just like, dude, shut up. Like, you just sound like a grumpy old white dude.
Well, I mean, like I said, I do think there was like some miscount. Like I did want to see somebody a little closer to Glen Powell's age for that role, but like I don't know.
But that's not what multiple people on
Yeah,
IMDb said. They said, I am sick and tired of Gen Z actresses. They can't act. And I'm like, that's not even true.
that's a crazy statement.
Yeah. But no, I didn't find any of the reviews saying the stupid thing. The bad review is good too. I love the bad review as well. From Rever Be Fit,
You
titled,
got a six pack?
I have no idea, but he titled it Cheer for the Tornadoes.
Okay.
Simple. The worst big budget movie I've seen in the last 20 years. It was poor torture. Every single minute. Let's start with the plot. There is none. A bunch of the worst actors say the worst written lines while they chase tornadoes.
Looks like a girl screwed the pooch.
The two protagonists are truly horrendous. Old Squinty looks like the Marlboro Man, and he can't act at all. I definitely thought you were going to think that was
That
more funny.
no, that's just somebody who's jealous of how good looking and cool Glen Powell is.
That's okay. It was still a
That
good line.
this guy probably doesn't even think hot brisket is that cute.
It was still a good line and funny. But anyhow, even worse, somehow is the female lead who is insufferable as all these other tornado chasers chase her. She's supposed to be the reluctant scientist who didn't want to return to her career following the death, thank God, of her colleagues. Got to love the scene where she randomly starts pushing buttons in Squinty's souped up truck in the middle of chasing a deadly tornado. Good thing she's a mature scientist. But the final excruciating tornado, I was really hoping it would kill the entire town and every actor in it. My God, I would rather a Trump rally speech than sit through 5 minutes more of this terrible, awful movie. See the original, see two actors who have actual chemistry in Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. They could act. Also, far better script written with a much more meaningful script. This movie is the Jar Jar Binks of disaster movies.
I remember the script of the first one being kind of stupid as well. Am I incorrect on that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure. I was like, am I misremembering? Because I remember that script being like, yeah, whatever. More Twister go circle fast.
Yes. Two Twister go real fast. They call twin.
Ooh, look, cow fly by.
Ooh.
Truck drive through house.
Yeah, good shit. I told you I had good reviews.
Those are great.
So, yeah, by the time everyone listens to this episode, we'll have probably recorded another Hot Guy January movie. But by all means, if any of our 5 listeners has a recommendation for Hot Guy January, the rules of the podcast are it has to be fun to talk about. So don't pick what's that Brad Pitt, no George Clooney space movie? Don't pick that one.
Gravity.
Yeah, we know it's got George Clooney in it. We don't want to fucking watch it. We're not going to talk about it. Don't even recommend it. But yeah, those are the rules. Hit us up, all 5 of you. That will always that will always be my bit. Like even if this shit blows up and we have a ton of people.
Yeah, if it blows up and we have like 12 listeners, it'll still be 5.
Man, if it blows up and we actually make money on this thing and we get to just talk about movies and dick around and thousands of people walking around the US with shirts that say "Show us your dick, Michael Douglas," I'm still gonna be like, yeah, the 5 of you that listen to this show.
Yeah, now we got a hot brisket shirt too.
Yes. We'll probably use my dog as likeness because he's fucking cute and he has a mohawk.
Yeah, mine would not pass as hot brisket.
No, I don't think so. All right, well, that's us at IRMFT. We're on the social media, so you can hit us up there.
At IRMFT Pod.
Yep, that's what I meant. That's us at IRMFT Pod. Thanks, BJ. The responsible one.
Don't forget to smash that subscribe button.
Yeah. You got to do your little bye thing. Bye.
Bye.